What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Earn It, Save It, Invest It. This is week 26 of my $100,000 challenge. I'm going to go over what happened this week, what's going on in the stock market, where my portfolio is going, any transactions I've made. So go ahead and quickly give a like and subscribe really quick. And I'm going to go over it really quick. Week 26 of my $100,000 challenge. So I am currently at $8,636.22. I'm up under 2% on Friday. As you can see, my portfolio, it's doing okay. It went up a little bit this week. TQQQ is still my leading stock. HIMS is number 2. Nike, Celsius, Meta, Fubo, Amazon, Adobe, and Hesai. HIMS, it would have been the main, the most weighted stock, but I did sell 10 a while back, and I'm still happy I did. I saved, I sold at 58, and I sold 10 of them, so it's like $200, I guess I saved in a way. I'm technically only $500 of capital investment into this right now. So, at least that's what it says. I'm only at 600. I don't know how it's doing the math, but I went in total of about $1,100, and I sold just under $600 worth. So I'm only at $500 now in this. Everything else, all of it's, I haven't sold anything else before. So again, I'm doing okay this week. I went up just under 8%. I was just under 8,000 and now I'm at 8,600. That does still put me pretty far below my goal. My goal is 9,400 for this week. So I'm negative 8% from that goal. I'm up 17% from June 2nd, which is when I started this challenge. And I've been making $50 deposits every single week. And if I didn't make $50 deposits every single week, I'm actually only up 1%. So my account balance is up 17%, but that's only because of the amount that I have been putting in. $50 every week, which is $200 a month essentially. When I only had $7,300, those $50 a week, and still even now, with 8,600, those $50 a week, it really adds up. 50 times 26, I've put in $1,300 now. So I've accumulated a decent amount just from my deposits, which is always good. Why you need to start depositing early and consistent. Obviously, when I get to $50,000 and stuff like that, the $50 deposits are not going to make as much of a difference, but they still will make a difference. They're still going to add on and continue to pile up and make me another 50,000, right? So you just have to remember that it's going to make a big difference now. It's not going to make as much of a difference later, but overall, it's just good because it shows how much of an impact it makes early on. It keeps your portfolio pushing forward even when it really shouldn't be, right? I'd only be up 1%, but I'm actually up 17% because of those $50 deposits, which it's not like I'm up 17%, right? I understand that, but my portfolio balance is, and that means I'm still able to move money around, right? That's an extra $1,300 I have in there that I can sell and do something with in order to make more profits later, right? So it is good to do that. So that's where I'm at right now. Transactions, I did buy $50 worth of Adobe. I bought 1 share of Hesai. Hesai went down really bad, and I did not think it deserved that. So, but then it popped up literally the next day. So I got it a day after that, but still, I just got 1, and I'm like, hey, if it continues to go down, that's fine. But I completely 100% believe in automated driving. I live in Los Angeles. I see Waymos everywhere. In fact, I'm going to do a video about Waymo, and I just see them everywhere. And Hesai, they do LiDAR detection and stuff. So I think that's going to be the way of the future. Now, it doesn't mean that this is going to be a home run, or that technically, just because just because that technology is going to be the future doesn't mean that this company is going to make it. But I do believe that they're making the moves. They're the leading company right now in that department. So I did buy another one of those. And then again, $50 deposits that I make every single week. So the AAII sentiment, that, they're asking, how do you feel about the market? And essentially nothing happened. This was Thanksgiving weekend. And, also happy Thanksgiving, happy belated, right? But this week of Thanksgiving doesn't do much for the market because a lot of traders go on vacation. And so a lot of retailers kind of take over. That's why the market went up, pretty decent, and nothing changed about, how we feel. I mean, nothing really changed for the last 3 weeks. If you really look at it, nothing's changed in the last 3 weeks. The bulls have really been between 31 and 32.5%, 31.5 and 32%, right? It's been within a percent. The bears, obviously, the bears went away 2 weeks ago, and then it kind of remained the same for this last 2 weeks. So that's just kind of interesting to look at. Let's see the special question. How would you describe the updated earnings guidance given by companies during the third quarter 2025 earnings? Approximately what I expected, better than what I expected, not sure, no opinion, and worse. So, people were assuming, okay, this was about the guidance that, we were expecting the companies to give, and then some thought, oh, okay, it's a little bit better. So those are probably a lot of the bears, right? And then the fear and greed index, we're right now at an extreme fear, 24. 1 week ago, we were at 12. I think just either before that or maybe just after that, we were at like a 2 or a 6. I mean, we were so far down in extreme fear. It was so stupid. And now we're starting to pop back up, and we're still in the fear zone. But if we see this starting to really take up over here towards neutral, you better expect that market to start to push up again. Because I'm going to kind of go over what this last week has done. It's green, right? And you look at that and you're like, wow, that looks great, right? That looks great. Let me do this. That looks wonderful. So much green, except NVIDIA, right? We still have NVIDIA. Oops. We still have NVIDIA right here. And that's really odd how everyone is green. We have Apple. This is for the week. Apple's up almost 5%. Google's up 8%. Meta's up 10%. Everyone is up. I mean, Broadcom's up almost 16%. I mean, geez, right? AMD's up 4%. We have Amazon 7%. Tesla's up 7%. Everyone is up. And NVIDIA is down almost 2.5%. Kind of strange. Does that mean that the market's going to pull back in this next week? Or does that mean NVIDIA is going to push forward even more next week? Which one is it going to go? This is HIMS, and HIMS is a big part of my portfolio. It's a big part of another portfolio as well, and I do believe in the company. I believe in the stock as well. I've been tracking it for a little while, and just because you track a stock doesn't mean that necessarily you know exactly what's going to happen to it. But I do believe that this is the bounce, and as you can see, I have a green line here, and I put this green line here when I saw this top. When I saw this top and then it dropped, I put that green line. Once it, I just put it there because that was a peak at some point and then it fell. Well, look at where it bounced. It bounced right off of that line. And that's exactly where I thought it would, because I was telling other people, look, if it gets to this line again after it went up so hard, look for it to come down here. And I actually said, look for it to almost hit this line. That's what I was saying initially. Look for it to come down and then pass this line, bounce here, and then bounce back up. And it's a little interesting because it was such a big range. Before, HIMS was at such a different, let me put it this way. HIMS was at such a different trajectory in terms of like the percentage wise, right? Where it was going. I mean, in a way, right? We have it right here at 13 and then it jumped all the way to 34. So that's a pretty big jump. It's 100%, right? Going from 25 to 50 is 100%. So I guess really HIMS has been pretty volatile, right? Here's the bottom at $6. And then it's just continued to jump up and up and up. But as you can see, it passes the previous peak and then it bounces almost to the peak before then, or at least goes under, and then it goes up. And it's been following this pattern for a very, very long time. I've been tracking it, all this, that's when it's been doing that pattern. I feel like it could be running the same pattern. I don't know exactly, like this is still a pretty wide range, right? But I do think that we are on our way past 70 for HIMS. I don't know how fast it's going to get there. We could see, just a little bump, right? And we can get here by like here, right? This is a year from now. If you were to say you gained, 75% on a stock in 1 year, and you bought right here at 30, you'd say that's pretty good, right? So I think, and it would be getting back to a point where it was a year and a half to 2 years ago, previously from that, right? So I would really look, if you're looking into getting into the healthcare space, into some high growth. It's not tech, but it kind of is, Let's see, I would say this range right here, all of this right here, that is a good range to be in. There we go. All right there. If you buy right here, if you buy under 45, let's put this to 45. Right there. All right. You have probably this much time. Had this much time to buy, I believe you're going to have around that much more time to buy. It's not going to drop anymore, really. HIMS for year to date is up 58%. So don't expect any tax loss harvesting, which is essentially when people, they have a stock, that has gone down for the year, they sell it so that they can use those losses against the capital gains that for other stocks that they sold for a profit, for tax purposes. So a lot of people, when they have a stock that's down, like let's say, let's look at a Nike, right? For a year to date, this thing is down. It's down, not too much, but it's down 12%, right? Down 12%. And if you really bought it any of these times, you might be like, you know what, let me sell a little bit and then I'll buy it in a month. I'll buy it at some point in January, February. People do that all the time. So I don't think HIMS will be that. It can't be. You can't take a loss, but you also can, right? You could, because there was a lot of people at the time of here, right? When you look at the majority of the year, right now you're at a loss. Right? Starting from May, right? That's the 5th month all the way up until now. So we've had 6 total months of you are at a loss. And if you bought at all in February, you're probably at a loss. So actually thinking about it, it is very possible that this does have some tax loss harvesting. But I don't believe it's going to have too much. I believe HIMS is going to continue on a great trajectory upwards, and if anything, it just kind of bounces through this this little part right here, this area. I'm having a brain fart right now, but it's going to be going all in this area. If we look at the VIX, I was looking at Tesla earlier. The VIX has gone down tremendously, obviously. We were past 25, and again, if you buy at these times, you're probably going to make a profit, and you did. This was about a week ago, and it's gone tremendously down. Now, this is by day, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is Thanksgiving, right? This is all Thanksgiving. We could bounce back up. This VIX can bounce back up. The S&P 500, the SPY, all of this can, look at that. The Qs, I love watching the Qs. And the Qs, they went down about 7.5, almost 8%. And then it bounced right back up. Boom. Back up almost 6%. So are we going to just go to a straight V, just a straight V? Or is this going to be, are we going to do a W? Are we going to do one of these? Are we going to go down for a couple weeks, and then end of December we shoot back up? I kind of want that to happen. I'd rather have that happen, just so it gives me a little bit more discounts in the market. But regardless, That's what I think is going to kind of happen. I think we're more likely to have another little correction over the next week or two, and then we're going to bounce up. Like I said, HIMSS is still going to eventually, you know, go up, but it could go down a little bit this month. You know, people could be tax loss harvesting it. You know, so that HIMSS could still go down over the next week or two. So just be on the lookout for that. December's a tax loss harvesting month. There will be, you know, again, the end of December is when a lot of the Wall Street goes on vacation too. So expect the market, usually, just like Thanksgiving, it kind of pushes up. The people want the market to go up. And when those people are on vacation, when Wall Street's on vacation, the retailers have it in control, and they really like to push the market up a little bit, right? And then Wall Street comes back and tries to, you know, reel them back a little bit. So yeah, those are my 2 cents on the market. Please go ahead and give a like and subscribe. I know that's popped up a few times now. I hope I made this video quick enough. And yeah, go ahead, please give a like and subscribe if you like my content. I really appreciate it if you're still watching. And yeah, week 26, $100,000 challenge. I'm not doing as well as I really want to, but starting where I did, I was already at such a big, HIMSS was such a big position in my portfolio, and it was up almost 200% when I started the challenge. So I knew I was already going to have a rough ride in the beginning, right? If I had waited for HIMSS to drop and then I started my challenge, it would have been a lot easier. But I said, you know what? I'm going to do it now. What does it matter? Just gonna do it now. So yeah, anyway, thank you for watching, and never forget to earn it, save it, invest it, buy low, sell high. I want assets, not liabilities, and you can count on compounded interest.